Hello, this is a brief review of a couple of different bipods that I purchased on Amazon. I thought it would be helpful to other people, so I'm making this quick video to show you the difference between an Ohuhu brand. I'm not sure how you say that. Ohuhu is the brand I found on Amazon. It's a 6 to 9 inch retractable bipod. And then we also have a Harris Engineering Series 1A2 bipod. And I just want to go over a few differences. So the reason I'm doing this is because I purchased the Ohuhu to begin with, and that turned out to not be a very good decision. I tried talking to the manufacturer after it broke. I never got a response, and so I'm doing a review to help other people keep from making the same mistake. So to get into it, the one on the right is the Ohuhu, and the one on the left is the Harris Engineering. I have not put the Harris Engineering on my rifle yet, but I will be doing so, and I will update this video. I don't want to put a lot of time into this video, but I just thought that I would show some major differences and some things that I can already see that are of higher quality. To start off, you can see that there are minor differences in the way that they are designed. Here you can see sort of the legs are different. There's like a socket here. I'm not sure how, what you would call this. This one comes down a little bit longer. You have things like this pull pin, which seems to be copper. This one is much larger. I don't know if it's stainless. Both the legs retract relatively the same. The rubber on the Harris Engineering unit seems to be harder, more durable. This one seems to be made of a slightly softer rubber. Other differences would be that the Ohuhu has a ribbed knob, while the Harris has a knurled knob. And I think it's just differences like that that make it a better product. But also you can see on the Ohuhu, this cross member is bent. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I've never noticed it. But you can see it's bent, and when you look down the middle, it's not even bent down the center. It's off-centered, and I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Whereas with the Harris Engineering, you have a single one-piece cross member that is apparently welded on or somehow riveted on. So that's important. I'll also note that this was used on my Savage Arms Model 10 chambered in .308 Winchester. So after 2 uses, it broke, and I'll show you where it broke. So we turn it to the other side. One of these notches that goes through the part of the gun, the rotating strap piece that I can't think of right now, it broke off, and I thought that was really poor design. If that's the main feature of how the bipod is mounted to your rifle, that should be one of the strongest pieces, and it failed after two outings. I was at the range, out in the desert, and after the second outing it broke. Whereas the Harris Engineering just looks to be a lot more durable. I haven't used it yet. Again, I haven't mounted it, but I'm looking forward to doing so. On the Ohuhu, you see that the protective pad to keep it from scratching your gun has shifted. You can see where the adhesive is and how the pad has shifted up here as well. So these pads are made of seemingly a hard foam. These pads seem to be very firmly in place and made of, I believe, leather, but I can't confirm that. But it looks to be leather, so that's something else that I think I think adds to the build quality. There's a lot that really seems to be similar or the same, so I think that this is just a knockoff of the Harris Engineering unit. I think that there's probably a lot more differences that I'm not getting into, and if I were an engineer, I'm sure I could tell you the differences and really tear this thing apart. But overall, the build quality seems a lot better on the Harris Engineering. And something else that I think is important is you can see that there's a plate or so underneath here, this brass plate on the underside. If you can see that, there you go. It's like a separate piece. Whereas the Harris Engineering, I'll show that again. There's the plate. No plate. So this is a single piece. They didn't have an additional piece, and I'm guessing that helps maybe make the manufacturing of this a little easier and less expensive. So the Chinese knockoff is easier to produce, whereas the Harris Engineering did not have that. So the way they opened, the legs opening, they seem to have the same tension. The way the legs extend seem to be the same. Well, it's not a good demonstration because of the way my hand is. There you go. But anyways, there seems to be just a better build quality. It just feels more stable. It feels a lot more rigid. This one just feels kind of loose, kind of cheap now that I have this one to compare it to. Also, for whatever it's worth, this one was about $70 on Amazon. This one I think was about $25 or $20 on Amazon. And I would really just recommend spending the money, getting the better product, and not wasting your time. So I just thought I would put this together, and hopefully it'll help somebody else looking to compare the Harris Engineering product versus the Ohuhu and other cheap Chinese knockoffs that you see all over Amazon. Good luck.